The judiciary represents the highest authority in juridical or legal matters and is responsible for applying the laws to specific cases and settling all disputes. In the United States, the federal court system has three main levels: district courts, the trial court, circuit courts, which are the first level of appeal, and the Supreme Court of the United States, the final level of appeal in the federal system. The Constitution grants Congress significant discretion to determine the shape and structure of the federal judiciary. Congress has established 94 district courts, 13 circuit courts, and 1 Supreme Court throughout the country. Federal judges can only be removed through impeachment by the House of Representatives and conviction in the Senate. Judges and justices serve no fixed term; they serve until their death, retirement, or conviction by the Senate. District courts are the trial courts of the federal court system and have jurisdiction to hear both civil and criminal cases. There are 94 district courts throughout the United States, with each state having at least one judicial district. Unlike state courts, federal district courts are courts of limited jurisdiction and can only hear cases that involve disputes between residents of different states, questions of federal law, or federal crimes. District courts have jurisdiction to hear both civil and criminal cases. However, they are courts of limited jurisdiction and can only hear cases that involve disputes between residents of different states, questions of federal law, or federal crimes. A civil case is a legal case involving civil law or common law, which involves disputes between individuals or organizations in which some form of compensation may be awarded to the victim. In a federal civil case, the dispute is between two or more parties and begins when a party files a complaint with the court and pays a filing fee required by statute. The complaint describes the plaintiff's damages or injury, explains how the defendant caused the harm, shows that the court has jurisdiction, and asks the court to order relief. A plaintiff may seek money to compensate for the damages or may ask the court to order the defendant to stop the conduct that is causing the harm. The court may also order other types of relief, such as a declaration of the legal rights of the plaintiff in a particular situation. Common law, also known as judicial precedent or case law, is the body of law created by judges and similar quasi-judicial tribunals by virtue of being stated in written opinions. The defining characteristic of common law is that it arises as precedent. Common law courts look to past decisions of courts to synthesize the legal principles of past cases. If a court finds that a similar dispute as the present one has been resolved in the past, the court is generally bound to follow the reasoning used in the prior decision. If, however, the court finds that the current dispute is fundamentally distinct from all previous cases, a matter of first impression, and legislative statutes are either silent or ambiguous on the question, judges have the authority and duty to resolve the issue. Case law is the body of law created by judges and similar quasi-judicial tribunals by virtue of being stated in written opinions. It is also known as common law or judicial precedent. The defining characteristic of case law is that it arises as precedent. Case law courts look to past decisions of courts to synthesize the legal principles of past cases. Judicial precedent is the principle that cases should be decided according to consistent principled rules so that similar facts will yield similar results. It is also known as common law or case law. The defining characteristic of judicial precedent is that it arises as precedent. Judicial precedent courts look to past decisions of courts to synthesize the legal principles of past cases. A matter of first impression is a legal issue that has not been previously decided by a court. If a court finds that the current dispute is fundamentally distinct from all previous cases and legislative statutes are either silent or ambiguous on the question, judges have the authority and duty to resolve the issue. There are many current events taking place in each of the three levels of the judiciary. For example, in district courts, there are newsworthy events happening in and around the Florida court system such as the Spring 2023 Full Court Press newsletter. In circuit courts, the Judicial Conference of the United States recently agreed to recommend to Congress the creation of new district and court of appeals judgeships to meet workload demands in certain courts.